Hello and welcome. Today's lecture series we are talking about soap operas and their role in social awareness. So, in the previous lecture I was discussing with you about the history of a soap opera, how it began in India, which were the most popular soap operas historically and even today, and how these soap operas actually contribute to social awareness. In this portion, I will be discussing with you about the basic premise of a soap opera and what is the future of soap operas in India and abroad. So, there are basically two types of soap operas. They differ in the time of broadcast. They are daily soaps. They dominate the late morning and the early afternoon slot and are broadcast at the same as the name says daily. Primetime soaps, in comparison to the daily ones, their production is more expensive and therefore they are screened just once a week between 6:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. In the modern era, soap operas have evolved to reflect changing societal norms and values. Shows like The Bold and the Beautiful or Grey's Anatomy take the traditional soap opera format and weave it in contemporary issues such as relationships, diversity and ethical dilemmas. But if you look at a soap opera very carefully, you will find that there are certain key elements which make a soap a soap. So, which are these the key elements, and we must all understand why are these elements very important in designing a soap opera. One is a set design script. The set design uses a variety of different mediums to convey a designer's artistic vision before the actual set is constructed. A design model is a three-dimensional, highly detailed presentation depicting a smaller scaled version of the set. The 5 categories included in set design are line, mass, composition, texture and color. Set design also includes deciding between realistic and non-realistic design as well as deciding on aesthetic choices. Set design can also be used for many different things, including setting the locale, the time period of production, providing a design consistent with the production's director's vision and providing physical elements of the characters to interact with, which heightens the reality of production. Then the other very important aspect is sound. A soap opera can have beautiful visuals, but to really immerse the audience in the drama, it has to have good sound. The sounds of film and television productions include anything from snappy lines of dialogue to soaring film scores to a careful mixture of in-scene music and sound effects. That mixture is called sound design. Sound design is the craft of creating an overall sonic palette for a piece of art, especially media like film, TV shows, live theatre, commercials and podcasts. It can also apply to multimedia visual art forms and even music recordings that incorporate ambient sounds or sound effects. So, soap opera has many shows and episodes that return to the same location time and again. As a result, a TV sound designer might design a core template for scenes shot in those locations so that they create consistency from one episode to the next. Sound design often involves music in soap opera and original music created specifically for the project. This music can appear in a drama scene or as heard by the characters, such as music from a radio or a song a character sings. It can also be underscore, which is textual music that the audience hears but the characters do not. Soap opera as a tool for social awareness. So, from the very beginning, soap operas have been one of the most watched genres. According to Nora Mazzotti, several countries have records on its impact, which speak not only of its commercial importance, but also about its cultural and social significance. This is a phenomena that goes beyond the social classes. Moreover, the audience feels a very strong bond with soap operas. The audience can easily relate to the characters' miseries. Perhaps that is the reason why they can adopt a new behavior in a natural way without feeling they are doing something far away from their realities. Therefore, experts in public health and communication try to insert messages of healthy lifestyles in tears, betrayal and impossible love stories. Michael Sabido officially stated his process of the soap operas, and at that time he felt that this is something which is actually going to work. And because of that, he is considered a pioneer in terms of entertainment with social benefits. This is what he said: I tried to make commercial television to have a social benefit through soap operas, a product that is inside the houses of those who most need to learn and improve their lives, and I proved that this could be accomplished without having the rating dropping. Manuel Carlos, Benedito Rao and Gloria are some of the Brazilian authors who joined this purpose. Fiction has been a good ally in times of clarifying important issues for society. As one of the most comprehensive fictional genres, soap operas should be aware of this. This is what Manuel Carlos said. So, while we were discussing about the features of soap operas, we have also understood that they have a very important role to play. Births, weddings and death, these are crucial events that occur in soap operas and are central to all storylines. Romance is the cornerstone of all soap operas as they trace through the ups and downs of the personal relationships of the characters and tap into the emotions of their audience. While doing this, many times social cause and social issues are also kept in mind. Cliffhangers again add to the interest of a soap opera. And these soap operas have a very deep impact in the society. Soap operas have influenced society by reflecting and shaping cultural norms and values. These programs often tackle social issues such as race, gender, sexuality and class, and can provide a platform for exploring and debating these topics. By presenting these issues in a dramatic and relatable way, soap operas can help to raise awareness and promote understanding of important social issues. For example, the popular soap opera All My Children American television series featured the first on-screen relationships in television history. Such soap operas have actually become a talking point in a public sphere. Another example of how soap operas have changed cultural norms is through their portrayal of women. Many soap operas feature strong and independent female characters who are successful in their careers and in their personal lives. This can help to challenge traditional gender roles and promote the idea that women are capable of achieving anything they set their minds to. In addition, soap operas have also explored themes such as domestic violence, addiction of any sort, which can help awareness and promote understanding of these important and social issues. However, it is important to note that soap operas are also often criticized for portraying women as overly sexualized or dependent on men and promoting an idealized and often unrealistic standard of beauty. This can enhance or reinforce negative stereotypes, but one must also emphasize on the fact that generally they have a very big role to play. Red Globo's soap operas have been including social merchandising for many years. An annual report prepared by this company revealed in 2002 that there were a total of nearly 1,130 scenes in soap operas related to social issues. The issues addressed had to do with alcoholism, sexual health, organ donation, and environmental issues, and so on and so forth. But sometimes when there is sensationalization on soap operas, they distort reality, they can impose a negative stereotype, they can have a misleading or a biased attitude, or there can be some sort of a negativity which it can bring about. There is an audience of soap opera. Soaps in general have a predominantly female audience, although primetime soaps such as Dallas and many other soap operas like this are also watched by men. The main interest for men is in business and problems and the power and wealth shown, whereas women are more interested to see family issues and love affairs in a soap opera. So, a soap opera can have a mixed audience of both men and women, and sometimes children also watch these soap operas. Middle-aged and elderly viewers make up the core audience for soap operas. Women aged 50 and above are often considered the primary demographic. Younger viewers aged 18 to 34 tend to have lower viewership for soap operas as compared to the older groups. However, some younger viewers do follow soap operas, especially if they get hooked on the storylines from watching with older family members. So, age group for soap operas is like this: stay-at-home parents or caregivers who may have more flexible schedules during daytime hours when many soap operas air tend to be avid viewers as well. Soap operas very rarely rank as top shows among teenage or college-aged viewers whose viewing habits skew more toward primetime shows. The male audience sometimes watch soap operas like The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful. In India, soap operas and the regulations related to entertainment or for newscasting, all this comes under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. It is a focal point as regards to policy matters related to private broadcasting sector, administrating of the public broadcasting service, Prasar Bharati, multimedia advertising and publicity of the policies and programs of the Union government, film promotion, certification and regulation of the media. These soap operas have actually now changed the world. They aren't often celebrated for contributing to the good of the society. Whether it's the materialism of Dallas or the idle gossip of neighbors, they are better known for being shallow and addictive than for a social change. But now things have changed. Now soap operas are seen as a tool of social change. The genre has succeeded in providing educational entertainment, a blend of public service messages and melodrama that has actually captured a bigger audience. Something like growing food. It was in 1951 that BBC Radio and the Ministry of Agriculture created this growing food, an everyday story of country folk, which encouraged farmers to try new techniques to increase productivity in the years after the World War II. Then getting people sewing in 1969, the rags to riches story of a domestic employee who made her fortune through her skills with a sewing machine provided the template for an entertainment education revolution. And remember, this is how the first Indian soap opera, Hum Log, also started. Teaching adults to read is again a very big contribution of these soap operas to the society. Sometimes those who are semi-literates or illiterates wish to read, and thus soap operas and their popularity actually gives them a chance to read. Soap operas also talk about women's rights, girls' rights, liberty, and their confidence. Many of such things have received a special platform through the soap operas. In the recent years, soaps have also begun using social media to engage with their audiences and keep them invested in the show. This can include live tweeting during episodes, hosting question and answer sessions with cast members, and sharing behind the scenes content. Soaps use serialized storytelling, character development, drama, cliffhangers, and social media engagement to keep their audiences engaged and invested in the show. These strategies help to create a loyal and dedicated following and have contributed to the enduring popularity of soap operas. In India, another technique used by television shows to generate hype around themselves is through award shows. Television award shows are ceremonies that recognize and honor outstanding achievements in television. These award shows are typically televised events that feature red carpets, celebrity presenters, and musical performance that they are often highly anticipated by both industry professionals and the general public. You are aware that over the years, several soap operas and artists have received national awards. A journalism student should also be aware that writing for television, especially for a soap opera, in itself is a skill. It needs the ability to strike a balance between images and the words. The style and requirements of the script are determined and ahead of time based on the format. The screenplay for a soap opera is finalized word by word before the filming. A soap opera screenplay, for example, will have practically all of the conversations and other details predetermined and finalized. So, before you start working on a soap opera and writing a script, look at the photos, log the bytes, so you know precisely what and where to utilize, knowing your story, and then be ready to make your changes. You have to also understand about the TRP pressures. Sometimes never ending soap operas become boring. Sometimes a soap opera without a proper storyline or without any social cause at all also starts losing its glamour. The development of OTT platforms is taking over the market of soap operas now. OTT shows especially, which have deep stories and less episodes, are more liked by audiences nowadays. Audiences can binge watch them in a single night and can experience a massive story experience by watching them. Foreign dramas, especially South Korean, Hollywood and Turkish dramas, are ruling the hearts of Indian viewers. These dramas are serving all purposes and giving great stories to the audiences, which is dropping the business of Indian soaps. The youth is becoming more aware and they need more relatable stories and concepts to view. That's why they are parting ways from Indian daily soaps and aiming to view online content more, which would mean that soap operas will have to run with the time and have to make changes according to the changing time. There need to be a quality control, limiting the number of episodes per season or setting a maximum total number of episodes so that viewers are willing to watch them for a longer time. One has to also do an audience research on viewer fatigue, because soap operas with a high number of episodes per season or long running duration may risk exhausting the audience interest. Limiting the number of episodes could help maintain viewer engagement and prevent storylines from becoming repetitive or dragging on for too long. There are a lot of production challenges also. Producing a large number of episodes within a short time frame can be demanding for the cast and crew. Setting limits may help alleviate the pressures associated with creating a large volume of content. On the other hand, arguments against strict regulation of soap operas content or episode numbers include creative freedom, viewer demand and market considerations. Soap operas are produced as a form of entertainment and as a tool for social awareness, and these are also subject to market forces. If viewers continue to tune in and demand is high, networks and producers may be inclined to continue producing large number of soap operas. Ultimately, the decision to regulate soap operas content or episode numbers is influenced by a variety of factors including cultural norms, audience preferences, industry practices. Different countries and broadcasting authorities may have their guidelines or regulations in place to ensure that television content, including soap operas, adhere to certain standards. Soap operas are proving to be especially influential in developing countries. They can improve the communication skills, advise people on issues like AIDS, or maybe during COVID-19 they were helpful, counseling of children, leading children towards encouraging them for reading habits, and many issues within the society can be tackled through through soap operas. It is being said, if the message is appropriate and the problem is common, you reach a large number of people with this communication. Viewers have an ongoing relationship with characters, so they become an important part of their daily lives. So, studies have also drawn from social learning theory that suggests that human beings don't always learn directly from humans, but they learn from observing characters in the mass media. The future of Indian soap opera seems to be very, very promising. The way we started in the early 80s with Hum Log, and then the way we have progressed from 80s to 90s, new soap operas emerged, and then from 90s, which I discussed with you, how we had long series like Ramayana and Mahabharata, and from the year 2000 we saw number of series coming under the K category of Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi, and so on. So, over the years we have seen that soap operas have a larger audience base. People love watching these soap operas, and they can convey a message if they want to. Over the years we have also seen the birth of different dramas, plays and soap operas like Vikram Aur Bital, something like Vyomkesh Bakshi, and Karamchand, Jasoos Karamchand. These soap operas and dramas have been closely linked to the audience imagination. Soap operas have significantly impacted the society and are a popular form of entertainment. While these programs can provide a platform for exploring important social issues and reflecting cultural norms and values, they can also reinforce negative stereotypes and contribute to unrealistic expectations. And thus it is important that those who make soap operas should be very, very clear that these soap operas should have a message to convey. They must have a social message. They must contribute to the society in a positive manner so that people relate to them and learn something from them. In a country like India, where we have a large population base, soap operas which deal with issues of literacy and which can lead towards better literacy programs are always seen with lot of interest. For this lecture series today, I have referred to number of readings both from the library and from the online sources. You can refer to these and know more about them. Soap operas are, since in India soap operas have a larger audience base, it is very interesting for each one of us, especially students of journalism and mass communication, to know about them. The entire process of making a soap opera is lengthy, tedious, difficult, but at the same time the message that they convey and the role that they play is no less. We must acknowledge the fact that over the years soap operas have played a very vital role in shaping the broadcasting sector, in shaping our minds and in shaping our personalities. I hope you have benefited from this lecture today. Kindly go through these readings if possible and do more research to know more about the world of soap operas. Thank you so much.